operation.
All right. We good, Controller's Office, all right? Excellent. Good morning, ladies and gents, and welcome to the November investment meeting of the Police Pension Fund. Let's go around the room. Introductions.
Stephanie Zimberg, representing Interim Police Commissioner Donlin.
Nicole Jambrisi, Police Pension Fund, present by invitation.
John Dorset, designee for Controller Bradland. Anash Kajala, Controller's Office, present by invitation. Kevin Lee, for Mayor Adams.
Nadia Fazubina for Commissioner Newblock.
Arthur Reagan, PBA. Chris McGrath, PBA, present by invitation. Anthony Burley, SBA, also have the proxy of the DEA. Chris Monahan, CEA.
Kristen Schaefer, CEA, present by invitation.
Lou Turco, LBA.
Andy Vincent Miller, Police Pension Fund, present by invitation.
Bob Senske, State Pension Fund, present by invitation. Also present. Go ahead, choose it up, guys.
Donald DeRosa, Bureau of Asset Management, present by invitation.
John Mercerberg, Controller's Office, present by invitation.
Right.
And I'd like to note for the record, there's several other members that are here from the public. If any of them stay for the executive, we will ask that they identify themselves as they speak on the record. And any of the staff that come in today will also identify for the record. So we have a very brief public agenda where I just wanted to note that as we've been noting on all the boards, we're looking to come to you in the next couple of months with the 2025 BAM work plan. It is not going to be it's going to be very similar to what we had talked about with the compact about what the expectations are for next year. But we are just working with the asset class heads to figure out what the appropriate work plan is for next year. We probably share that likely in the coming months with the board, and I just wanted to kind of give you that heads up at a high level, and I can pontificate about that all to my heart's content, but I don't think anybody wants to hear that today. So that is the only item that I wanted to cover in the public session. And with that, I would make a motion to exit public and enter executive session to discuss specific manager issues.
One of the items that came out of the STAR report that we heard from you was that there is obviously a lot of information that the Bureau of Asset Management provides to trustees on investment recommendations. And while that information is helpful, it is also dense. And we all know that you lead busy lives and you are also not finance professionals. And we want to try to find a better way to provide you all of this information, but in a much more condensed way. And what we have come up with through months of review is a rather simplified cover memo that is not replacing any of the materials that we are providing to you for investment meetings, but is a supplemental to what we provide to you that is giving the top lines of all these recommendations and meeting items in a much more digestible and easy to view fashion. And this is something that, as John Dorset mentioned, we're going to be rolling out December forward, that is going to be provided in the Convene portal as it is today, that really kind of dives into the nuts and bolts of all of the agenda items that we're working through. So I just want to take a quick minute to run you all through it so you get a better sense of what we're looking at. As you can see from agenda and actions required, this is going to be a run through of the agenda for the meeting. And obviously a lot of that revolves around investment recommendations that we are providing to you, but a great part of this is that it is also showing applicable materials, whether that be BAM memos, consultant memos, the manager's presentation, as well as the presenters, whether that be from folks within the comptroller's office or managers that are going to be giving presentations, as well as an action required, whether that's just something that we are updating you on or if it is a vote required, as is the case, of course, for investment recommendations. The second part of it is the portfolio top lines, which is, in the case of today with Anash, what Steve is presenting to us on a monthly basis, is going to be presented both still as a PowerPoint presentation, but we're also going to be putting it in this cover memo so you can get a more clear-eyed view of it. And we are expanding it a bit to provide a couple more details. So on top of index returns and portfolio returns, we're also going to be adding the AUM for the system, as well as a new way of viewing portfolio under and overweight. If you all recall the presentation as it stands now, which you'll be seeing in a couple of minutes from Anash, There are a lot of numbers on a grid, and of course, when we are rolling through this in a quicker fashion, it's much easier to take in from a view that is not hundreds of numbers on a piece of paper. So we hope that this is going to create a better way to view the performance of the system. And then moving into what is really the meat of this, which is the investment recommendation. So this is a condensed version, as I mentioned earlier, of BAM's investment recommendation memos. And we're really putting the top lines into this. So as you can see from here, we're going through the background, we're going through the highlights and considerations, as well as a few key metrics relating from the overview to the economics, to terms and additional considerations, along with the fee analysis, potential current investments, and then closing out with the decision that you ultimately have to make, whatever the allocation may be, whether it is to approve or to terminate, as well as what the consultant is recommending. So again, I preface that this is not replacing any of the materials that we are sending to you, and we of course still would like time able to look through those materials, but this is a much more one-stop shop to be able to take in all of the deals that we're going through and to have that in front of you so you could make the best decision that you can with the materials that we're providing for you. So this is, of course, as I said, the meat of it. And then a couple additional things, whether there are strategic topics that we want to talk about, the quarterly materials that we go through, other updates and topics for upcoming investment meetings. So, of course, it is 5 pages. When we add in what every meeting will be, it's going to be a little longer, but this is, of course, going to be much more digestible than the dozens, if not hundreds of pieces of paper that are uploaded to convene for your review every month. So we are looking forward to this. We hope that at the end of the day, this is going to make your lives easier. And as we progress through the meeting, it's going to make it flow a little better for you so that you can see directly in a page or two what we're putting in front of you to make investment decisions. That is it on my end, but I'm going to take any questions. Yes.
Is that a discoverable document?
So it's in public right now. We're just presenting it as a draft, but moving forward, December forward, it's going to be a fully privileged document that will be an executive session. So it won't be for public consumption.
It will be done when everything is started, right?
Right, well, but,
Yeah.
So any other questions? And we will entertain questions when we roll it out next, in next month or in the month after, if there are questions. But I think it will make life a lot easier for folks that, particularly those folks that sometimes have someone else that they have sitting in, into their organization. As schedules always get dicey, this will make life a lot easier for everyone. So that concludes our public agenda. With that, I'd like to make a motion to exit public and enter into executive.
We have a second?
Second. Okay.
Okay.
We are now in executive session.
Right, on the report out, the trustees heard a truckload of presentations from investment managers. Also, comments from our consultants and the BAM staff. Those decisions will be made public at the appropriate time.
So with that, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn.
God.
8 seconds, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay, thank you. We are now.
Hallelujah.
We can stop the recording.